Hi, Rebooters! Welcome back to day 2 of the 5-day Reboot Challenge. I hope that yesterday, when you watched day 1, you felt that you received value. I hope that you got a little bit more in touch with your awareness and asked yourself some really deep questions. And I hope that you will share in our community some of the results you received from the life audit that you did. So today is day 2, and it is about beliefs. And I have a little secret for you, okay? Don't believe everything you think. So stay tuned, that's what we're gonna talk about today. Okay, so today we're gonna talk about, if I think it, does it make it real? We all know no, it doesn't, right? But we totally love to believe the thoughts in our head. And the problem with the thoughts in our head is that sometimes they lie to us. Sometimes they tell us we can't when we can. They tell us we shouldn't when we should, or we aren't going to when we will. And so it is really important to question your own beliefs, because some of them didn't come from you. Some of them came from people who raised you, people who love you, people you've worked with. We have beliefs that come in from everywhere. And our job as an individual chasing a dream, chasing a passion, is to ask ourselves, I have a thought here, and this thought may be propelling me forward, and it may be serving me in the best possible way. Or perhaps, if you're like me, you have some thoughts in your head that are not serving you. They are causing you fear and doubt, and they are putting the brakes on something that you really, really want, because they have you convinced that it cannot be yours. So I'm here to tell you that we need to ask ourselves, hey, belief, are you real? Do I even believe you? Because if I don't, then I really appreciate the time we've spent together, but it's time for a belief breakup. You are no more. I'm moving on. I got to get to where I need to go, and you aren't going to help me get there. Okay, that's the only way, because everything that we have starts right here. And you will see in today's transformational task that I wrote something that says the basic idea is that beliefs you have about yourself are what drive your long-term behavior. Where you are right now, good or bad, where you are in this moment was brought to you by, drumroll please, your beliefs. And it's as simple as that, because we either take action or do not take action based on the limitations that we believe exist. And sometimes they are real limitations. Sometimes there's physical barriers we can't break, or at least none that we know of right now. But sometimes it's nothing more than fear of failure, fear of success, fear of the unknown. I'm so safe here, and although it's not perfect, do I really want to have an adventure outside of this level of comfort? Do I really want to step into the darkness? I mean, I don't know. What if there's no net at the bottom? What if I jump off the cliff and there's no one to catch me? But what if you stay on the cliff for the rest of your life, never knowing the answer, knowing that there was a whole world waiting for you, but you were so safe and comfortable on that cliff that that was your reality forevermore? And if that sits well with you and standing on that edge is where you want to spend your life, then again, welcome. You are already living your reboot. But if you're anything like me, where you kind of were so curious, you're just looking over the edge going, man, what's out there? If I could just get myself to venture into the unknown, maybe I can shift my vantage point, shift my perspective, and change my reality. But it all starts right here. So your identity is connected to what you believe. And you will see a little chart in your task today that says identity and process and outcome. And it's really important that we realize that who we are in this moment is directly correlated to who we believe ourselves to be. And if we were to come from the standpoint of a teacher in a classroom, it would never occur to me in the 13 years that I stood in front of small children, elementary aged children, and taught them to ever allow a child to have the belief that they weren't enough, or that they weren't loved, or that they weren't worthy or smart, or that they didn't have a gift that the world was waiting for. It would never have occurred to me. All I would have said is, of course you're worthy, you're all of those things. And it would have been my job, my mission, my ambition to change that belief around for that child, because I believe it. I know they can be more, do more, have more. And doesn't my self-talk, doesn't the dialogue within me deserve that kind of motivational speaker? Doesn't the inner dialogue inside me deserve someone on my side telling me all of those things? Don't I deserve to be in my own cheer section going, you've got this, Linda. You are smart enough, good enough, worthy enough. Listen, you could wait all day on your husband to tell you, your mom to tell you, your dad to tell you, your children to tell you, and you'll feel great and you'll give yourself a little pat on the back. But if you don't believe it, if you don't actually connect to that belief, it doesn't matter who tells you. It isn't real to you. And so today what we're going to try and do is uncover what those beliefs are. How many of them are real and serving us, and how many of them have been indoctrinated or given to us, or we just kind of, as we walked by, we were like, hey, that belief, I'll take it. Oh, once upon a time, someone told me I didn't do something well, so I decided to believe that I wasn't good enough. And we all do it. I mean, it's part of our humanity. But what's also part of our humanity is growth and adaptability. We are built to adapt to our environment. So if we want the environment to change, then we know our body and our mind will follow. If we tell ourselves, hey, it's time for a new belief. I believe that I can do anything I set my mind to. And I'm not just saying that, I believe that. Because 3 years ago, if someone had said, Linda, you can be an author and you can write a book, I'd have said, that's so nice, but I don't believe you. I can't do those things. I'm not a good enough writer. I don't have enough of a story to tell. Blah, blah, blah. And when I got out of my own way and chose to create a new belief about me, I think you can be an author. It might not be easy. It might be scary at times, and not every single sentence and every single word on every single page will be perfectly written. And when I accepted imperfection, I'm going to try my very best, and I'm going to go after it with my heart and with my soul. And it's going to resonate with people. People are going to connect to that because that's what other people are trying to do. And as soon as I took that pressure off and I believed, of course my family and friends have always told me it was possible. But once I knew it was possible, off I went, and there was no stopping me. And no matter who, once you believe it, no matter who stands in your way and says, you can't be an author, you're definitely not a good enough writer. I've heard you speak, and sometimes you jumble up your idioms, so I think you probably can't write a book. Because once I told my husband to get off his high chair, because that's how I do idioms, because I didn't know that it was high horse. But you know what? It doesn't matter. People aren't looking for the book that is perfect, or maybe you are, but I know there's also a lot of people looking for humanness, authenticity. They just want to connect with another human being having the same life experience so that they know they're not alone, so that they know, wow, there's other people going through what I'm going through. So I must be okay. I must be normal. You know, if we're moms, we have this one thread in common. And we know that it's always hard as shit, and it's always the best thing that's ever happened to us and the hardest thing that's ever happened to us. We share that. And that is why moms love talking to other moms, because we want to know, did your day, you weren't a perfect mom today? Oh gosh, that's great. Neither was I. Thank God. And so it's all about what we choose to believe and how we choose to show up. And tomorrow, what I'm going to talk to you about is why. So now I'm aware that I'm not where I want to be. That was day one. Today, I'm bringing attention to what do I believe? Because everything I believe is the reason I'm standing in this moment waiting on a reboot, working on a reboot, and wanting a reboot. So I'm going to identify those beliefs. And from here, I'll be able to make some shifts. I'll be able to reconnect. Okay, now I know what's wrong. I believe things can change, and I'm ready for action. So your transformational task for tonight, for today, for whenever you choose to do it, is called 7 Levels Deep. And it's gonna sound a little confusing when you see it, but I've also given you a sample of my own 7 Levels Deep so that you can see exactly how the worksheet works. And so basically it starts with an essential question, that number 1 question, which is, why is it important for you to become successful? Successful at what? That's for you to determine. Successful at love or work or confidence or dreaming about what you can be again, you're going to answer that question. But what happens is the answer you give to number 1 will then lead you to question number 2, and then the answer to question number 2 will lead you to question number 3, and you will go through that repetition process until you get to level 7. And when you look at my worksheet, and we'll talk a little bit more about it when we begin tomorrow, you will see that your why do you do it? Why do you want to do it? What motivates you? When you are asked that question, your instinct is to initially say, my kids. I do it for my kids. Most of us say that. Or I do it for my parents, or for my husband. I do it for my family. But that's such a generic answer. It's very beautiful, but it's also very, very surface. And if you don't believe me, again, look at my sample and try it for yourself. And you will see that the question I answered on my step 1 is layers and layers and layers removed from the answer I finally dug when I got to level 7. Because you're excavating, you're saying, wait a minute, it's like a child, but why? But why? But why? But mommy, why? And so I'm here today to annoy you with that question. So every time you give me an answer, my next question is, but why? But why? And I'm gonna cause you to keep having to answer that question until you get 7 levels deep. Now, if you get to 7 levels deep and you're like, this isn't enough, I need to go deeper, then you create your 8, your 9, your 10, however many levels it takes for you to connect. I know for me, when I got to level 7, I bawled my eyes out because I realized that there was this belief system in me that I didn't even know was there. Okay, so we'll talk about it more tomorrow. Please, 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 I want this community to be a community of sharing. I want us to feel safe inside this group and loved and cherished inside this group. I want you to know that I am here for you. I will read every single comment, every single post that you put inside this group. But I am giving you my heart and soul. I am giving you everything to help you through this reboot. And I hope that you will invest in yourself and give me some of you on this journey. So I look so forward to hearing the results of your 7 levels deep. I look forward to hearing what your level 7 is. And I am here for you for anything that you need during this week. Please reach out, and I've got you. You've got support and love right here with me. I thank you, I love you, and I can't wait to see you on day 3. Thank you for doing the Reboot Challenge right alongside me. Bye, everybody.